this next lecture of design of slabs. So in this lecture, we are going to see about the design of one-way slab. Before designing of one-way slab, we are going to see the step procedure for designing one-way slab. If we go by step-by-step procedure, if we go by steps for designing, you can be able to understand it clearly. So that is only I have planned to teach you first the steps, what are the steps in design, and how we are going to design slab, and next we are going to do design a slab. Next we are going to design a slab. Okay. So in your unit, in your syllabus, according to your syllabus, there are three types of slabs that we are going to design. First one is we are going to design one-way slab. Next we are going to design two-way slab, and third we are going to design cantilever slab. Okay. Then we are going to see some step procedure for dog-leg staircase that I will explain you afterwards. So today in this lecture we are going to see the one-way slab and its step procedure. Okay. So as you already know what is one-way slab. One-way slab is nothing but a slab which the loads are distributed in only one direction. So the bending will also happen in a one direction. So the beam, one-way slab beams are only two beams are supported on one side. So the main reinforcements will be provided on the shorter span, and the distribution will be provided on the longer span. And also the ratio between the larger span to the shorter span should be greater than equal to 2. If it is greater than equal to 2, it is termed as one-way slab. So that is your step procedure. So I ask you to kindly take your notebooks and take down the step procedures. So in your examination time it will be useful for you. Okay? Right. So step number 1. We are going to see step by step. Step number 1. We are going to analyze the slab. We are going to analyze the slab. Either the slab is one way or two way. Okay. So how we can analyze the ratio of long span Lx by Ly should be greater than or equal to 2. If it is greater than or equal to 2, it is termed as one-way slab. If L by Lx by Ly is less than 2, it is termed as two-way slabs. So first, for example, we can see in one-way slab, this is one-way slab. For example, if the longest span is 6 meter and if the shortest span is 3 meter, so 3 by 2 is equal to 2. So it is equal to 2. So it may be how much? It may be equal to 2. So it is one-way slab. Another example, if a slab comes under 7 by 3, how much? So it comes under 3.5 around something. Okay. So it is greater than 2. So it is termed as one-way slab. Okay. Next step is step number 2. Step number 2 is step 2. Step 2 is determining the depth of slab. Determining the depth of slab. This is step number 2. So there is a formula to determine the depth of the slab. Depth in the sense it is denoted as overall depth. Sorry, effective depth. Small. So small d is equal to shorter span divided by basic value. D is nothing but basic value into modification factor. Modification factor is nothing but the factor which we are applying for safety. Okay? So that is modification factor. Basic value is nothing but the value which is given for the supports. The supports may be either cantilever, simply supported or continuous. Okay. So the basic value of depth for effective depth for simply supported beam, cantilever beam and continuous beam. So this basic value is given in your IS 456. IS 456 page number 37. I will show you in code book so you can understand it clearly. Page number 37. So this is, see, you can see here. For cantilever, how much basic value? It is 7. For simply supported, it is 20. And for continuous, it is 26. So our one-way slab comes under simply supported only. One-way slab and two-way slab is simply supported only. So what is the basic value according to the code book? Basic value is nothing but 20. And always take modification factor in between 1.2 to 1.5. Okay, so that I will tell you while we are doing problem. So always take 1.2 to 1.5. So you can take the highest value, modification factor, always you can take it as 1.5. So this is how you will calculate the effective depth D. Okay, next step is, in the step 2 itself, you have to calculate the overall depth. That is, you know, that's what capital D. Overall depth is nothing but the effective depth plus dia of the bar plus clear cover. For example, if the effective cover is 125 and the dia of the bar is 10 divided by 2 plus clear cover, for example, we take 25. Okay, so 150 plus 5, 155 mm. So this is your overall depth. Okay, so this is how you will calculate the overall depth. Overall depth is equal to the effective depth plus dia of bar by 2 plus clear cover. Okay, so next one we are going to calculate. The step number 3 is effective span of slab. Step number 3 is going to calculate the effective span of the slab. The effective span of the slab is nothing but, so yes, there are two cases to find the effective span. So case 1 is, so effective span is known as L suffix EF. Okay, so first one, L EF is equal to clear span. So this shorter span plus effective depth. So for example, if the slab is given as 3 meter into 6 meter, the dimension of the slab, length into length. Okay, what is shortest span here? 3 meters. So convert into millimeter, 3000 millimeters into plus your effective depth, your count is 150 for example. So how much? 3150 millimeter. So this is your effective span. This is case 1, first one. Case 2 is LEFF. Effective span is equal to shorter span plus effective depth. Shorter span plus side of end supports. Shorter span plus side of end supports. If in case in question side of end supports is given as 300 mm, for example, 300 in case question given means you can calculate. So 3000 plus 300 mm. So how much it is? It is 3300 mm. It is 3300 mm. For example, compare these two cases, which is smaller value, 3150. So you should take the smaller value for effective span. Okay, that's it. And your step number 4. Sorry, step number 2 is effective span of slab. But step number 3 is effective. Sorry. Step number 3 is calculating load. Step number 3, calculating load. So what are the loads? Are basic loads, dead loads, live loads, and if you are constructing, if you are using slab to construct a floor. Okay, so immediately after over slab, what you will put? You will put tiles. That tiles is called as floor finish. Okay, always the floor finish, that load is taken as 1 kN per meter. Okay, always that is taken as 1 kN per meter. So 3 loads you will find. First one is dead load. Dead load. Dead load is nothing but D into overall D. Okay, so unit weight of concrete. Understand? So D into overall D into unit weight of concrete. Okay. So unit weight of concrete. Weight of concrete value is always 25 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay. Always 25 kilonewton per meter cube. And breadth of the slab B, breadth is always taken as, in slab is always taken as 1000 mm. That is how much is 1 meter. 1 meter. Depth, overall depth of the span you must quantify using the formula, that is what? Small d equals find. Effective depth is equal to shorter span divided by basic value into modification factor. And using the effective depth, you will find the overall depth. Overall depth is equal to effective depth plus dia by 2 plus clear curve. Okay, you find. So while calculating the load, you must want to substitute all the values in meter, because the concrete unit weight of concrete value is equal in meter. You must convert all the values. Okay, understand? The second one, live load. Live load will be given in your question. Third one, floor finish loads will also be given in the questions. If live load is not given in question, take into kN per meter. Okay, this is basic value. For all design composition, this is basic value. Floor finish load, take 1 kN per meter. Understand? So this is how you will calculate the load. After calculating these three loads, you must want to calculate the total load. Total load is nothing but the addition of these three loads. You will find the total load. That total load you will take it as W. Now after finding total load, you must want to find the factor load. Factor load is nothing but the safety, that is additional safety, that is you are going to provide for the calculated load. So factor load is denoted as WU, that is equal to total load plus into 1.5. Okay, total load into 1.5. So this is your factor load. So this is how you will calculate the load. After calculating the load, you must want to find the moment. How much moment it is acting on the bending moment. How much bending moment which is acting on the beam. So simply supported beam means what is the bending moment formula? M. Moment is taken as MU. Bending moment MU is equal to what is the formula for simply supported bending moment formula? So WU W L square by A. So W is nothing but factor load. W L square by A. Here this L is not the not the common length, that is effective length. L E F. Okay, by A. So this is your step number 3. Next was step number 4. Step number 4 is nothing but check for depth. You are going to check the depth. Check for depth. D. So you are going to check whether the calculated depth is correct, or you must change, or you are going to take another depth for the coming load. You are going to check with the load. For this load, for this moment, is that the effective depth is correct, or we must change. So you are going to check after finding moment. So how we will check this? There is a formula mu is equal to 0.138 FCK BD square for moment. Okay, you are studying in your singly reinforced section. So how do you find the effective depth? That is B is equal to root of mu divided by 0.138 FCK into B. Okay. So you will take all these things inside, the square will become root. Okay. So this B is always 1000 as I already told you. FCK is nothing but the grade of concrete. Mu is nothing but your moment. So by substituting the value of moment here, you should substitute all in millimeter. Okay. So immediately it will how it will come. This calculated moment will be in kilonewton meter. So you must want to convert into Newton millimeter. So that is into 10 power 6. The value into 10 power 6. That is how you will check for depth. After checking the depth, the value of this should be less than the value of effective depth that you have found in the step number 1. Okay. The value of the depth that you have found by using this formula is D should be less than step number 1 D. Okay. If it is less than step number 1 D, that is hence it is safe. It is okay. Okay. Since it is safe. So this is your step number 4. Your step number 5 is calculation of AST, area of steel in reinforcement. You must calculate how much area is required for placing the main bar steel reinforcement. So calculation of step number 6. Step number 6 is calculation of steel. There is a simple formula already you are studying your shear reinforcement, right? I have already told you this formula, very simple. AST is equal to 0.5 FCK by Fy into 1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 mu divided by FCK into BD square into D into D. Very simple. 0.5 FCK divided by Fy into 1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 mu by FCK BD square, close the bracket, into B into D into D. So this is your formula. Okay. So using this formula, you substitute all the values are there in your. You will already you have calculated small d mu. So you will substitute and get the value. Okay. So your step number 7. Step number 7 is very simple. You want to calculate the spacing of the steel reinforcement bars. See, step number 7. So spacing of bars. Very simple formula. Spacing is equal to area of one bar divided by area required into 1000. Very simple. Area required is nothing but the AST that you have calculated. In step number 6. Area of one bar is nothing but you are going to assume the bar. How much diameter of bar you are going to take. That bar you are going to assume. For example, if you are going to take 10 mm dia bars, if you are going to place the bar 10 mm. So taking bars also very easy. You may ask question like, how can we take 10? Can we take 12? We can take 16 or else we can take any other diameter of bars, right? Why specifically want to take 10? You may ask like that. So there is a table for taking that area of steel, diameter of steel bars. There is a chart. Using the chart, you the engineers, you must want to take the bars. So according to the bars, the number of bars will increase. Okay. So I will explain you while we are calculating the problems. Okay. So for example, we are taking 10 number of bars. So pi into 10 square by 4 is area of one bar divided by area required is step number 6. You are calculated one area, right, into 1000. So you will get the spacing. So how you will check the spacing? Check. There are two cases. It should be one 3 into d, 3 into effective depth, and second one is 3 into mm. And you will compare these three values. Okay. First one, second one, and third one. After comparing this value, which value is very less, that value you will take it as spacing. Okay. That's it. Next step is you have to calculate the area AST minimum and AST maximum. Area of steel provided, minimum area of steel provided, and maximum area of steel provided. Why you are checking is the AST that which you have got that using in step number 6 is correct or not. In order to check that, okay, you have to calculate AST minimum. AST minimum. So you will understand when we calculating the problem, when we are doing problem. 0.85 B into D divided by F. This is the formula for calculating AST minimum. AST maximum is equal to 0.04 into D into the overall. Okay, these are the two formulas to calculate. See, take your notes and write all the steps. Then only you can understand it very clearly. Okay. I am going to draw this. Next one, check for reflection. Next one is check for reflection. Next step. Check for reflection. So first step number 8. Check for reflection. So there is a formula in the code book page number 37. There is a formula. I will show you while we are doing problems. As a formula, Fs is equal to 0.58 Fy into AST square divided by AST provided. AST square by AST provided. Okay. So using that formula, you will get a value. And next we want to find the percentage of steel. What is percentage of steel? That is AST divided by B into D into 100. This is what percentage of steel formula. So using these two, you will get the modification factor value. Modification factor value you will get using these two. I will show you. I will tell you. There is a chart and a table. You must want to use the chart and table and you will find. By doing problem, I will tell you. Okay. And after that, you will find again depth. After using these two, you will get a modification factor value, and using that modification factor value, you will substitute. You find the effective depth. What is effective depth formula? In step number 1, shorter span divided by shorter span divided by basic value into modification factor. So this modification factor you will substitute here, and you will get a value. So that value should be less than the step number 1 value, that the effective depth that you have found. So hence, if it is less than hence the section, the design of slab is okay or safe or deflection. Okay. So this is step number 8. So step number 9. Step number 9. Step number 9. Check for shear. You have already studied, right? Check for shear reinforcement. Check for shear. How you check? First you want to find the shear force. Shear force is nothing but PU. There is a formula to find B is equal to 1.5 WL by 2. This is the formula for calculating shear force. Next one, you want to find the nominal shear stress. Rho E is equal to PU by BD. That is your code book. PU by BD. Next, you have to calculate the tau C value. Tau C value is nothing but what? the design strength of the concrete. That design strength you will calculate in using the table number 19. So you will compare after finding the design strength of the concrete from table 19. You will compare these two values. So it should be C for slabs. For the design shear strength for concrete shall be taken as tau C into K. See, for slabs, the design strength of concrete is taken as tau C into K. So, how we will check for shear? How the slab is safe in shear means you will compare that tau B should be less than K into tau C. This K value is given in your IS 456 2000. That I will explain. The page number. I will tell you in the problem while we are doing problem how to take this K value. If tau is less than K into tau C, so that is the section is safe for shear. Okay, this is step number 8. 9. Step number 10 is check for development length. Step number 10 is check for development length. How will you check? Already you are studying right? Check for development length. So there is a formula. Development length is equal to 0.87 Fy into 5 divided by 4 into tau PD. Tau PD is shear bond. Shear bond if you take, you know how to take, right? So 0.87 Fy into dia the bar is 10. Already I told you want to assume the bars. After taking this, after substituting this value, you will get the answer. And you must want to check for, how you will check, there is a formula called, right? M by V plus L naught should be greater than LV. Let's check. You study the development design, right? So moment is already you have found moment W square by 8. This is the formula PU. You have done in the previous step. Bu shear force plus L naught is always 0. And if you substitute this M by V, you will get answer should be greater than LV. So N is the shape of development is check. Okay. Next step number 11. Step number 11 is nothing but distribution bar. Area of steel required for area of steel for distribution. Area of steel for distribution. It is known as AST DIS. Okay. What is area of steel for distribution? So already told you, right? One way slab is the main. So your step number 11 is you have to find the area of steel in distribution bar. So what is the purpose of finding area of distribution bar? See, in one way slab, I told you the main bar will be provided in the shorter span. So in longer span, what bar will be provided? Longer span distribution bar will be provided. Okay. So that bar only we are going to calculate what is the area of distribution bar, and using the area we are going to find the spacing. So what is spacing? See, for example, this is the distribution bar in longer span. This is main bar in the shorter span. We are going to calculate what is the distance between each rods. Okay. So for finding area of distribution bars, formula 0.12 by 100 into B into D. 0.12 by 100 is nothing but 0.12%. Okay. Spacing is equal to area of one bar by area of distribution into 100. So here area of one bar, how you will calculate? So main bar, if you take 10 mm dia bar means lesser than that of 10 mm dia. What bars are available lesser than 10 mm? There are 8 mm bars is available now currently. So you can use 8 mm bars, or you can use the same bars according to your design, according to you as engineer. You can take the bars. So if you take 8 mm bar means 5 into h by 4, the area of distribution that you have calculated, substitute here, get the value, so that you will find the spacing. So that's all. So this is how you will calculate, you will design one way slab. Okay, these are 11 steps. Thank you, students.